Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the developer of PurRocket, an iOS space game with cats. And I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast. You can find a link to download my game at facebook.com/PurRocket.
Hi, my name's Cartoon Penguin, and I'm a part of Shocknet's development team, and I listen to One Up Gaming podcast.
Yeah, this how we do it, y'all. L-G-E, mine.
Straight out of Diamond Style Production.
What up to you, One Up Gaming? They're not really ready for this one. One Up Gaming is behind me. Let me get in beast mode. If you wanna try me, you don't need a cheat code. Conte is who I be. To you is Mr. Hero, legendary adversary. Flows consider lethal. I'm a Super Saiyan. I got Dragon Balls. I wouldn't lie. You might think I'm playing when I'm saying I can really fly. When I'm on the track, you feel the energy I'm pushing out. Put me on the map. One Up Gaming's who I'm talking about. I'm the rapping Master Chief, epic to say the least. Contain the hero, better etch that in your memory. And so the One Up Gaming for the show out. Contain the hero is really gonna show out. Show out. Contain. And so the One Up. And so the One Up.
Dope bitch you ever heard.
And we're here, it's One Up Gaming, it's me, David, and Zack.
Good evening, morning, afternoon, night, day, wherever you
Do you
are.
reckon that's just a really bad joke ripped off from The Truman Show?
Never seen The Truman Show,
Okay.
so I can happily say that that is not entirely original, but it's somewhat. But yeah, how's it going, David? You alright?
I'm fine, I'm just suffering from a bit of a cold.
Oh yeah.
I've taken 4 paracetamol and 2 cold and flu day and night capsules and a Lemsip hot drink.
Oh god. So the best thing about doing the podcast over Skype is that you can't give me any disease, or I can't give you any diseases, and you can't give me any diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you sure you're not like just high on all the medication you're on?
No, I'll probably finish this and just completely collapse and fall asleep. Because it doesn't say non-drowsy, so it's probably just gonna just knock me straight out.
I like how on Skype you have your little picture is your animated one.
Yes.
And you kind of look like how you sound right now.
Thank you, Chris, for drawing me like that.
Yeah. Chris, well done, Chris. Yeah, you kind of you have the eyes. You just have black holes for eyes, and you've got this sort of like look on your face. You've got sort of like a little frown going on. You've got a beard going on. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with my picture. Did you see Matt's picture?
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't very impressed.
Was he not?
No.
That's always the worry when you get someone to draw you, especially like a caricaturist or something, because they always just they take your obvious features and exaggerate them to a ridiculous degree. And if you don't think, Cartman. Yeah, and if you don't think you have those caricatures, then you sort of walk in the line of being insulted. Well, no, the caricaturist is kind of walking the line of insulting you or not. And I always think that one day they might draw someone and they might get really mad.
Yeah.
But
break his nose. Is that your Coke?
I've got a nice cup of tea actually. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's I've run out of Coke.
You've gone up in the world.
Yeah. Tea's the best. Got to do it for
So,
ignore me. I was going to explain my tea technique, but this is
I was
not
just going to say,
the.
what sort of tea do you have?
Oh, really? I just use PG tips.
All right.
Standard stuff. Well,
So
I know
what's
someone
your
who
tea
messes around
technique?
with the whole tea leaf stuff, and I just can't be bothered. Tea tastes just as good with PG, to be honest. Really.
So, for your tea, do you have sugar?
Oh, 2, yes.
2, pretty
And when I
hell.
say 2, like I don't think I actually use like proper like teaspoon measurements. So it might, because I kind of lump it a little bit, so it might be a little bit like 2.5 maybe pushing it.
Bloody hell.
I knew someone who took 5 sugars in his coffee. Imagine having a cup of coffee and then adding 5 sugars to it, and that's all he drank for the entire day. He would just drink like 4 cups of coffee with 5 sugars in him. And you should imagine he must be wired for the entire day and night. He must never sleep. And when you like made the coffee and then started, you put the sugar in, then stirred it, it was like stirring like tar or something. You could feel a resistance on the spoon. It was horrible.
Anyway, tea
yeah.
Aficionado.
Oh, what's that word?
I don't know.
I don't know what the word is either. Yeah, aficionado. Aficionado? Are you sure? That doesn't sound right.
I don't know. I don't feel well. Anyway, Zach.
Yes.
What have you been playing this
Right.
week?
What have I been playing? On to the big stuff. Well, I guess the main thing I've been playing, I've put a lot of time into the FIFA demo that's released. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And I quite like the demo. I'm not sure. I was quite amazed to see how really FIFA the game is. If I'll explain that point because it's a stupid point. Because obviously they've changed engine.
Yeah.
They've changed to the Frostbite engine, but they've pretty much exactly replicated FIFA 16 in the Frostbite engine. Like if they didn't tell me that it's a new engine, I would not have known at all. I was just going into FIFA 17 thinking it was still the Ignite engine, I think it was called.
Yes.
And I don't feel like it's changed much from FIFA 16 from what I've played, at least. It just feels like they've like tightened up all the different like the defense mechanics, and the shooting is a little bit better. There's like huge changes with like crosses and free kicks, and not free kicks really, but actually indirect free kicks, sorry, and penalties. Penalties are mind-bogglingly confusing now. So now, when you take an indirect free kick, have you played it, by the way, David?
I've not touched the
No.
Xbox or the PS4 in about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So when you take a free kick now, an indirect one, you have a little cursor on the what's it called? The pitch, like around the box. I was really struggling for that word. They have a little cursor, and you move it around, and then you depending on how strong you hit the ball, if you hit it, if you don't put a lot of power into it, it loops over to that spot, and if you put quite a lot of power into it, it whips it in with pace. So it's kind of, I don't know if it's simpler, because it's actually quite difficult to get the right amount of power onto it, because if you just loop it, like all the tallest players just kind of just gather around the ball and head it away. So it's the same with corners. So instead, obviously in FIFA 16, when you put a little bit of power on, it would just like drop in front of the player. But then now it always goes to that cursor spot, and I assume that changes depending on like the free kick accuracy of the player or whatever. And penalties, they've changed it so that you can choose where your guy stands around the ball, right? So I think it's the same with free kicks as well. So as it starts, he's say 2 yards away from the ball, and using the right analog stick, the right analog stick, you can move him away from the ball or closer to it, and then with the left analog stick, when you press up, and then that activates the guy running up to the ball, and then you press circle for power. And then you've got to do the aiming of the ball, so left or right, with the left analog stick. And it's almost like too much to do. I get really confused, but in the end, it just seems really easy to just put a little bit of power onto it, and you just side foot it right next to the post and in. So I don't know if that's going to be a bit of a problem. In that, if everyone realizes that, everyone's just going to slot it into the corner of the goal, and penalty shootouts will just go on forever. But apart from that, I don't think there's been that big a change to the gameplay. In the demo, they give you kickoff mode with I think it's Man U, I think City's in there, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Lyon, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. I think there's a couple more as well. And then there's also the new single player, what is it? Journey mode. And
that sounds quite interesting.
It was quite cool. There's been a lot of people sort of going, "Oh, it's amazing," but there isn't much to it in the demo. To say that it's incredible from the demo alone is kind of pushing it. But basically, what happens is when you start it, you automatically go into it's 3 games into the season. You're playing for Manchester United, or Alex Hunter is the guy you play as, and you and your mate from the academy are in the team, and your mate is starting against Chelsea ahead of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which doesn't make any sense. This guy, I can't remember what his name is, called Walker or something, and he's a rated 64, and Jose Mourinho in his absolute wisdom has decided to play him ahead of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which is okay. So on this, it goes on. So you get subbed on at the 75th minute. And bear in mind, the match times are limited to 4 minutes each half. Yeah. So you get about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes of actual game time. You get subbed on instead of Zlatan Ibrahimovic when it's 1-0. It doesn't make any sense. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is supposed to be just sitting on the bench, just oh yeah, good luck, guys. And then you just get subbed on. You can choose to play as just Alex Hunter, or you can play as the entire team, which kind of defeats the point in a way. But it's cool. So you're leading the line against Chelsea, and if you score, the commentators "Oh, this is a brilliant day for Alex Hunter and the other guy, Walker." So it's quite cool. All of the commentary seems specifically recorded for the mode as well. Makes it feel nice and real in a way. And then so there's a Mass Effect style dialogue system where you'll be asked a question by someone, and there will usually be 3 answers. There will be one called fiery, one called cool, and one which is neither, and it kind of just it's sort of sitting in the middle. And then depending on which ones you choose, your manager will like you more or like you less, or you'll get more followers, which I assume it's talking about Twitter fans or something. For saying one specific line, you get 10 extra fans or something. It's really odd. It's a strange system. And then so I think before the game you speak to your mate, and you get one dialogue choice. Then when you're warming up to go on to be subbed on, you get another dialogue choice, and then after the game you get interviewed, and then you get a couple more as well, depending on whether you scored or not. So it's quite cool, but at the same time, it's very limited. There isn't actually that much there to go on. And then there's like a trader of highlights.
Ask a quick sort of question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it similar to the Formula 1 sort of game where the game itself, like the racing, but the football, looks good, but the character models and stuff out of the actual proper game looks a bit ropey?
No, I think it looks pretty good, to be honest.
Right.
Some of the animations are a little bit odd. Like you see it when you play FIFA, and you say like a foul gets committed, and then the players start walking around as if they're zombies, and they have this mindless sort of, as if they've got like a 1,000-yard stare. They've got no emotion to them. Sometimes that happens when they're walking around when you're getting changed, or the guys arrive to the dressing room, like Mkhitaryan. You can see Mkhitaryan, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Rooney in the background. And they're kind of just wandering around, and they're constantly got their head sort of like tilted just slightly up, and they sort of walk around, and they look like zombies. And they don't, and then they'll like walk up, like they'll do that classic thing, that FIFA thing, where characters walk up to each other in a really robotic fashion. Then an animation will start, and the animation's like perfect, like all of the muscles have been perfectly tracked on there, and then or whatever. And then when they come out of the animation, they return to the weird zombie kind of robotic thing. That kind of happens a lot. But with, like, specifically Alex Hunter, his mate, Jose Mourinho looks quite good, actually. When you, like, score or win a game, he, like, runs on the pitch and starts celebrating. So they all look quite cool. And from there's, like, a highlight reel afterwards, like, giving you, like, a rough... It's like a trailer for what's going to happen, and everything looks pretty well mocapped, so that should be good.
Is there any sort of like idea of how long that mode is? Or
no, there's no. I don't think there's any idea. There's like I believe how it works is it goes through the first season you do. It has like a proper story. Then after that, it just drops into like a regular Be a Pro mode. Right. From the old games, so I think it just lasts.
So it might be like 10 seasons or 20 seasons, whatever. Or is it just 5?
Nah, I think it's just the one. It's just the one. Because I don't know how... Because obviously... Well, in the trailer, they were just talking... There was, like, highlights going through, like, him rising up the academy. I don't think you actually do anything in the academy. I think you're playing for the reserves or whatever. And then... There's a bit where... he's, like, scoring goal after goal, and then the manager's like, oh, you have to buckle down, you know... You don't get complacent or whatever, and then he gets like dropped from the team for some reason, and then he gets really mad, and then he's having an argument with someone. It gets proper intense, and then he's like showing his mum around his new house, and then he punches an award off his mantelpiece. It's like, oh my god, he must be going through something really emotionally turmoiling. But yeah, I don't know how long it will last. I can't imagine it will last very long.
Yeah.
It would be funny if it was like proper, like there was like an entire level set in like a nightclub. You could like choose to get absolutely battered or go back home, and then like there's like a game against Manchester City the next day, and then you got to play like hungover. You start seeing you get double vision and everything. That would be quite funny. But I think it's all pretty... I don't think it'll be anything incredible, to be honest.
So is the passing faster than it was in the last game? Because that really annoyed me on the last one.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty much exactly the same.
I'll have to play the demo.
So I'm not very good. I'm not very good at reviewing football games, specifically, to be honest. Especially FIFA.
So I played the demo of PES 17.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to buy it. It's very similar to PES 16, to be honest.
Yeah, it is very similar.
Whereas FIFA,
I thought that goalkeeping is a lot better in 17. Goalkeeping in 16 is rubbish.
To be fair, goalkeeping in a lot of games are rubbish.
Yeah, they are.
Once you work out, I remember playing on the old sort of like Mega Drive games. You used to just like run at an angle and you could score every single time.
Yeah.
So have you been playing anything else?
The only other game I just downloaded, the For Honor closed beta for the weekend. This is the third-person action game set in a universe where medieval knights fight samurais who fight Vikings. Which is it's the most like bizarre
It's an Ubisoft
story.
game.
And it's an Ubisoft game, it is.
So it'll look quite good, but just won't have no content.
So
It won't play
yeah,
well.
but I don't think it should be a £50 release or whatever. I think it seems a little bit light at the moment. But there's like 3 different modes in it. So there's duel mode, which is where you just spar off against another dude, and you just whack each other into submission, best of 5. Then there's Brawl, I think it's called, which is basically the same thing except with 4 people, 2 on each team. And you just
Is that where like Mario joins in and
unfortunately not? That would be great.
That's up to 8
This is
players
like
sort of
it's sort of
combat.
like the tiebreaker is Super Mario Bash Bros. That'd be great. That would be amazing.
It wouldn't, because that's a horrible game.
No, it would. It's a great game. And then there's another mode called Dominion, which is like capture the flag. No, it's not capture the flag. It's more like domination.
Wasn't that the main bad guys in Star Trek DS9?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Alright. Carry on.
So there's like 3 locations, A, B, and C, and you got to capture them. There's 4 people on each team. There's also AI soldiers who run around as well, and they help capture the locations. And that mode's quite cool because it has that kind of, if you're like rubbish, you can just go up and just batter a few of the rubbish AI, because they're just there to be killed, really. They're not there to pose any kind of challenge. So just like running into the middle of them and just having one massive swing of a longsword, taking out 5 in a row. And it's just like, yes, I'm actually good at this game. Before you see like another person running towards you with 2 swords, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to run now. But it seems quite cool. It does seem a little bit lacking. It's basically Rainbow Six Siege, except with swords. So, that's the way I see it.
I would say something like Rise.
Or Rise, yeah, probably. Rise. Multiplayer Rise.
Yeah.
It is a little bit fiddly. The controls
What
are a
is it
little
with
bit...
all the multiplayer sort of games?
microtransactions in it. Everyone's realising the public have sort of put themselves in a little bit of an odd position, I think, where microtransactions are the big thing, which is really sad. Because everyone's paying like £60, not £60, $60 up front, and then losing loads of money to microtransaction as well. I don't think it's really fair. I think as long as people keep making single player games, though, I don't think that will ever be offset, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think it seems it's good that the multiplayer games are mainly new IPs. So it's not any, like Titanfall. I mean, that's going to have a single player campaign, but when it first came out, For Honor, Star Wars Battlefront, to a degree, I guess. Not really. It's a revived IP, if anything. So, I don't know. I quite like multiplayer only games, but
what sort of gets me is like 5-10 years ago, all of that the multiplayer only sort of games were really cheap, nasty, indie budget sort of games.
yeah.
Whereas now there seem to be like all the big blockbuster sort of like names and developers. They're all doing like online only sort of games.
Yeah. Well, do you remember there was that trend where every game had a tacked-on multiplayer, which was awful. Every game had one, and it was miserable. I'd rather they just didn't bother. I'd rather a company went all for multiplayer or all for single player. Some multiplayer game modes I've played over the years are pretty bad. I remember the Tomb Raider reboot one. That one was awful. It was so bad.
I think I played the multiplayer once just because I had to review the game. And I can't even remember what the hell the multiplayer was like.
Yeah. I was like, Uncharted's multiplayer is rubbish as well.
Some people really like Uncharted. They're wrong, but you know, some people really like it.
They're wrong. Yeah. It's just, I don't get the appeal. Just stuff like that. But I remember Bioshock 2's multiplayer as well. That was rubbish. Like, it was okay. It wasn't rubbish. That's a bit of a step, but it was nothing special.
Yeah. So is that all you've been playing?
That's pretty much everything I've been playing, really. Unless you want to specifically... I played a little bit of Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Because I'm going for a bit of a Dragon Ball Z hype at the moment.
Isn't that Dragon Ball Z 4? Or Xenoverse 4 or something? Or is that something completely different?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Am I thinking about something about the other ninja thing? The little guy with an orange band.
The little guy with the orange band?
Yeah, like a ninja.
What?
I don't know. Something Storm 4.
Oh, Naruto. That's Naruto.
That's the one.
That's the... Yeah, it's not that.
He's got an orange band, hasn't he?
He does, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that's the... Yeah, so that was a good point.
I was clutching at straws because I'm colourblind, so it could have been green
yeah.
for all I know.
Oh, yeah. Pick a card.
So...
Yeah, so what have you been playing, David? Enlighten me.
I don't think I've played anything.
Oh?
I watched Pete's Dragon, the new Disney movie.
Right. How's that?
I didn't enjoy it.
No.
I played that Disney racing game on the Eagle box.
Best game ever made.
I have to say, for a PS1 kart racing game, it was very good.
It was really good, I'm not even going to lie. It was amazing. I've sunk hours into that game. So many hours.
I wonder if it didn't sell because of the name.
What was the name?
I can't remember.
Was it Mickey Mouse?
No, it's like Walt Disney's World Tour Racing Magical Tour or something stupid.
Yes, yeah, it had a bit of a silly name.
It was just like, what the hell?
It was decent. Great music.
Couldn't they just called it Walt Disney Racing or Walt Disney's Karts or something?
Maybe, yeah.
You know, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's a fun game. If anyone wants to know what it's like, it's very similar in style and gameplay to Crash Team Racing. And that's a good game on PS1 as well. Other than that, I have been playing Clash Royale on my mobile phone.
Nice.
And I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but do you know, it's one of these free-to-play games, but you can like pay money to get better items and upgrade faster.
Yeah.
And leaked documents came out a few months ago where the matchmaking was rigged to put lower ranked people who had paid money to have better equipment against higher ranked people who hadn't put money in.
Oh, no.
So the lower ranked people, technically you think, oh, they're only level 6, I'm a level 9, but they've actually got well better equipment to use because they've actually paid money.
That's bad. That's really bad.
And so when I'm playing the game now, I'll start the game, I'll put a couple of like troops out to destroy, and then the first 5 seconds you work out, oh, they've just destroyed 3 of my men, I'm just going to put the phone down, let them win, and start again. It is just pointless.
Well,
But I guess that's why they do it, because they think you get that annoyed. You think, oh, sorry, I'll just put like a tenner in and get the better cards.
Yeah.
But
That's still pretty bad.
I think it's very bad how they've done it, which is a shame
And
because
they've been caught as well.
I still really enjoy the game. It's a good game. Probably the best game I've had on my mobile.
Wow.
And I'm just trying to think if I should have played something else. I should have done.
Anything.
I watched a lot of football last week. That was good. I like football.
I watched I support Arsenal, and I watched Arsenal PSG on Tuesday. And I went to my friend's house, and we was really looking forward to it. It's like, okay, it could be a good game, Arsenal versus PSG. Arsenal, I'm going in feeling pretty confident, and then PSG scored within 40 seconds, and we were just sitting there like typical Arsenal fans, just here we go again. And then we managed to drag out a 1-1 draw, which sort of made it a little bit better. But the fact we conceded in 40 seconds is just appalling. It was so bad.
So what did the guys get sent off for?
Oh, so I think Giroud and Verratti, I think they just walked into each other or something. Neither of them were looking where they were, and they sort of just bumped into each other and fell on top of each other. And then they just sort of pushed each other off or whatever. And I don't know, it didn't seem to be anything of it. Like, it was just two people sort of bumping into each other. And then they both already had yellow cards, so they got booked for the challenge. And both of them got booked. I think they got booked for their reactions. But they were both booked, so they both got sent off. But I think it was a little bit of I don't think it was much in it. Like, I think in the post-match in the post-match interviews, both of them, at least I think Giroud said he was just like, we just bumped into each other. It was nothing. Like, it was. They're just on a football pitch. They not hit each other. They just walked into each other. They fell over. They just sort of bit back at each other a little bit. That's what happens. I don't know. It just seemed a little bit harsh to book them again. And then Giroud was like, his first booking, he was like, it wasn't even a foul. So I don't even know what happened. So I don't know. It was a bit stupid.
Oh well. Newcastle are doing quite well. I enjoy it when they go to the Championship because they do
they start
really
winning.
well. Yeah. I think they've probably won more games in the first 5-6 games of the season than they did all last year.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite depressing.
Wow.
But it is funny though how the QPR people, when they employed Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank as their manager, it was only like a year ago, maybe not even that, and they were saying they were going to build the team to whatever he wanted and this, that, the other, and that he was their, the get that they wanted as manager.
Yeah.
And just a few games into this season, there's already rumours that they're going to sack him.
I think Tony Pulis, the manager of West Brom, was spotted at QPR the other day.
Yeah, sat next to the chairman.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "No, he's just visiting." It's like, okay, yeah, he's just visiting, as you do.
Yeah, it's a bit. You wouldn't, would you? You'd ask to be sort of seated somewhere different.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, wasn't it?
You could sort of say that he was scouting some players or whatever. Yeah, but don't sit next to the bloody chairman. So he's like, oh, what do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? Hire me as manager.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not very popular either at West Brom, is he?
No.
People hate him. So
I was hoping that they'd get relegated last year, but unfortunately they didn't.
Yeah,
They might this year though.
they might
Hopefully.
do. They haven't done very well, have they?
No, I think they're down there. I think Hull and Sunderland are nailed on to go down. and there's just one more.
I think Sunderland are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Hull.
Nah, I think they'll go down. They had a couple of great games, and then the last couple they haven't won. So I think it'll just slowly go. Because I think in the first 2 games of the season, they used 12 players.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then on the bench they had like a load of 17-year-olds.
As you do.
So yeah. So that's not great. Anyway, should we go on
nice
to
round up to a football there? That was quite cool, wasn't it?
I was going to mention Formula 1, but I don't know how much of Formula 1 you like.
I like Formula 1. I'm a big Formula 1 fan.
I love Formula 1.
What is it? Rosberg's 2 points behind.
Yeah. I tell you, I don't know about you, but I've never been a big Lewis Hamilton fan. Just because when he wins, he's so cocky, but when he loses, he's a proper little moody child.
Yeah.
But
it's enough. I quite like people like that because they make it interesting. This is personality, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the fact he just goes out partying and does what he wants. he's just like he like walks his dog on one of the like a Segway thing. He takes his dog wherever he goes and everything. I don't know. I think he's funny. Like,
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but like the Sky Sports sort of commentary and all the team and this, that, the other, they are so pro Hamilton.
They're all pro Hamilton, yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, Hamilton did really well. Nico Rosberg, he came second. Why are you so shit?
He is quite exciting to watch as well. To be fair, like he's so aggressive with his overtaking and stuff. Especially in recent years, where a lot of the rules and stuff has kind of made the Formula 1 a little bit of a drag at times. It's some of the circuits you can't even overtake on some of them. It's so the tracks are so thin and everything. Yeah, Hamilton he does what he wants. Everyone's like, you can't overtake there, and he's like, watch me. And then he either crashes or he does it, and it's like, fair play.
To be fair though, having the best car to drive,
he also has the best car to drive. Yeah, there's also that.
You know, it does. You know, he can actually, well, like he did the other week, where he started basically last and still finished third. Or was it second in the end? Might have even been bloody second.
I think it was second, yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good driver, but he didn't get that result because of his driving. It was basically
it's a fair point, yeah.
Their car's like 2 seconds a lap faster than everyone else, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
So, are you looking forward to next year when all the rule changes?
What rules are being changed?
The cars are wider, the back wheels are a lot wider, double the width.
Oh my god.
And they're losing a lot of the aerodynamics to help run behind cars. So basically, they're not having all the downforce of the wing and the aerodynamics of the car. They're having the thick, heavy tyres that'll basically, when they get up to temperature, they like stick to the road.
Okay.
So hopefully there'll be a lot less reliant with the air turbulence behind with the cars. But yeah, it sounds interesting.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Do we have any news or?
News. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
How about the South Park Fractured Butthole being delayed till next year?
Has it been delayed? Oh god.
Yeah, it's been delayed.
Honestly,
Did you not know?
No, I didn't. Every is there a game that doesn't get delayed anymore? Every game gets delayed.
Well, if it's been published by Sony, it
Especially-
has to get delayed.
Oh yeah, Sony.
It's under mandate.
Oh, are they publishing it?
No, I'm just saying, but anything by
Oh,
Sony.
yeah. So yeah, Sony are awful at it. I don't think they have any first party stuff coming out between now and Christmas, apart from The Last Guardian. Even that was delayed
Yeah, it's been delayed 6 weeks again.
till is it December? Is it like
Yeah, like the 6th of December or something.
yeah? I don't know if that's going to make that.
I don't know. I think they just put it there quietly because they said at E3 it's definitely out 2016. So I think
They're just going to have to risk it.
yeah, it'll
gonna be a
come out on the
massive crunch
31st.
Yeah.
Just like quietly
There is a
out.
game coming out on the 31st. I don't think it's a major game. I think it might be an indie game. It's like on Steam or something. And I saw it, and they said, "Oh, we're coming out on the 31st of December." I'm like, the 31st of December? It's such a why? I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
It didn't. Oh god, was it Final Fantasy 14 came out on the 31st?
I have no idea.
A couple of years ago, I can't remember. It was some role-playing game, MMO, that came out on the 31st
insane.
of December. But, I don't know. So, we are just going to have a quick chat about hopefully getting some more details of our event for next year.
Woohoo!
So, I also, during this event, we're going to be holding a tournament. I'm in talks with a certain developer and hopefully doing the World Championships of their game that'll be out early next year. I don't want to go into too much detail just in case it falls flat.
Yeah.
But let's just say it's an arcade-based football game.
I wonder who that could be.
I know. And he might even turn up, he said.
Dino Dini.
Oh god, no. He blocked me and accused me of being not very nice.
It's not your fault you made a rubbish game.
I know.
Awkward.
I know. I'll have to play that. It's been updated. Only
Has it really?
You can actually get like yellow cards and red cards now. Because that was just...
I remember on Twitter I got criticised because I said that it doesn't have enough content, and then they were like, you can't take points off it because it hasn't got enough content because they promised more. And I was like, I didn't reply, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's just like, but they're selling it
Yeah.
as it is. Like, you can't review it based on promises. You have to review it on what's given, and what's given is Euro mode or single player. No, was it Euros exhibition match and a multiplayer mode?
Yeah.
It's not enough, really.
No, I mean,
to defend my position staunchly.
I got some emails basically saying that you should review it when it has all the updates. And I was like, well, we can't do that because we're a small site.
Should I do it?
Otherwise, we'd have to re-review every single game that has a new update.
I might re-review it. I give it a 1.
What did you give it to start with? Is it a 1?
I gave it a 2.
You gave it a 2.
And I think I gave it a 2 because I quite enjoyed the multiplayer mode, because clearly no one understood what was going on when I was playing it with them. It was just a mess, and you could barely control the ball. There was just shots going off everywhere. I don't think I won. And I don't think any game there was more than one goal. So I might re-review it just for the sake of it. You never know; it might be amazing. Now, to be fair, you could have really turned it around, but based on what it wasn't very good.
No, anyway, I actually bought the game.
How much was it?
About 15 quid.
It was 15. It was, wasn't it? It was fairly expensive. Like, Right, I'm going to quickly Google it now.
I think on PSN it's about £8, but I bought the boxed copy,
Oh, okay.
which was about 15. But I think it was 12 on Amazon. But still,
So if I go to the PlayStation Store...
so that annoyed me as well. I was all up to buy the, do you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that came out a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I was all up for playing that because it looks graphically good, but I know it's going to be simple and just a basic sort of game,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with that. And I went on the PSN. It's like £40.
PSN's so overpriced, it's insane.
So then I thought, oh, I'll go on Amazon, and I've bought it for like £22 brand new.
Yeah, they sell like when you buy a brand new game, a brand new game is £55 standard.
It's crazy.
And it's like £55. You can literally go to Amazon and buy them for like £42.
Yeah.
Granted, there's a few bonuses to buying it on a store, but it's just so expensive.
Yeah. Crazy.
I remember I went to there was some gaming event at Alexandra Palace in London last weekend, and Game had a little stall there selling stuff, and they had like a massive, obviously had a section for games and stuff, and all of the games there were £50 standard. Stuff like Overwatch. I think what else was there? All of the Call of Duties there, going back to Advanced Warfare, which is 2 of them, were £50. No Man's Sky was there, £50. Rainbow Six Siege, £50. I was looking at through them and was going, oh my god, like this is insanely inflated. Like just because they're in a gaming thing, they're just going to sell every single game at £50. It was mad, absolutely mad. I felt like throwing a massive hissy fit, but that'd have been bad. Yeah, Dino Dini's Kickoff Revival was £8 on the PlayStation Store, and I had a quick look at Metacritic. It has a score of 31.
That's better than I thought.
Critically, IGN Spain gave it a 70 out of 100.
Yeah.
Then it drops to 59, then 40, 30, 25, 20, 8 out of 100. That is. And then it has a user score of 5.7, but user scores you can't trust user scores, absolutely not. Someone's given it a 10 out of 10, but they've actually written a critical comment. To call it a football game must be some sort of joke. Roll on sociable soccer, 10 out of 10.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense, does it? So
that's been very negative to the game, and then to give it perfect score.
Yeah,
I don't
but
get it.
That's user reviews. You can't trust user reviews.
I tell you one thing which I thought was really funny. There was a website similar to ours, but every month they do a top 5 video of their favourite games of the month.
Okay.
And Dino Dini's Soccer was at number 5 for the month when it came out. And on his Twitch channel, he was like just sat talking for like 2 hours.
Oh, I watched that.
About how his game was.
I think I watched you record it and publish it on YouTube.
Yeah, and then he had a massive fit about that.
You had a massive argument with him. I watched that. Yeah, I saw that unfold on Twitter. That was funny.
Yeah, and basically he was going on about how people love the game, how it was like the 5th best game of the month, and this, that, the other. And I sort of mentioned, yeah, but at number 4 was, I've completely blanked on the name, Mighty Number 9. And I thought that game was horrible.
I mean, Mighty Number 9 hasn't that been received really badly?
Yes.
Because it was nothing like what it was meant to be.
You know. So I mean, to be worse than that game, to me, just means it was a very bad month.
I remember seeing the Kickstarter for that, and it had like a really cool sort of comic book, sort of 2D style.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see it again until it was released, and I was like, "Am I looking at the same game? This is insane." I mean, that has a 51 on Metacritic, 53, sorry. and a user score of 3.4.
Well, I mean, like, I think Concept are the guys who, like, made the game with help from, the Mega Man guy.
Yeah.
But they're doing the new game with the Metroid guy, and they've just recently, they've basically said that, the game's been delayed until 2018.
Oh, my God.
And they're bringing on new developers to help out.
They've got a lot of projects going on at the same time, haven't they? They've got an anime as well, or something.
Is that still going? I thought they dropped it.
I think they've got... Oh, they dropped it?
I don't know. I think
I'm not sure.
It might have got
They
dropped
did-
off Kickstarter, but it might still be going ahead.
Right, yeah. Because isn't there another...
Is it Red Ash or something?
Red Ash or something? Yeah, there's that... Are they doing a game as well for
Yes.
that? Is that what it is?
The spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends.
Right, okay.
And then they wanted like 50 grand for that off Summit. And then they also wanted like 50 grand for the animated series. And
I think when it comes to like Kickstarter, if what everyone just really needs Star Citizen to really pull through, because if Star Citizen doesn't pull through, no one's ever going to kickstart a game ever again.
I mean, I've got two. No, yeah, I've had two games that I've been on Kickstarter with. One that I did get, and that game is Chime Sharp, which I don't know if you've ever played the original Chime on 360, PC, PS3.
I don't think so, no.
It's like a puzzle sort of game, and you lay blocks down that look similar sort of shape and design to Tetris sort of blocks, but you can place them anywhere on your grid. And then, do you know... Oh god, not meteors. Lumes? Some of the puzzle game where like the line goes across the screen. And it's got that sort of mechanic. But on this game, if you place blocks down and make solid blocks, and you have to fill up the screen, as that line goes across, if you've made a solid block, it basically colours the full of that, and it doesn't disappear. If you have it solid, but it doesn't...
Oh, yeah, I think I watched you play it on YouTube.
Yes, I did a video of it.
I think you did a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I know which one you mean, yeah.
And the bigger the blocks get, the more music fills in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's such a good game. It was only about £8.
Yeah.
So I was willing to sort of put money into that. Because I loved the original. And then the other one, which, as a joke, Shenmue 3. I don't think they've shown gameplay footage yet, have they?
No, they've shown like art design and stuff.
Yeah.
I think they've shown a few 3D models and stuff, but no.
I wonder when
Thankfully,
that'll come out.
I never played Shenmue 2 or Shenmue.
I
so
played
I've
Shenmue 1 and
skipped
2.
that.
Because I was a sad Dreamcast person.
The only Kickstarter game to be announced by a keynote speech at E3. It's just the most amazing thing, isn't it? We're going to make Shenmue 3, but you're going to fund it.
I think Sony got so much critical and public applause for their E3 press conference. I thought it was a joke. Announcing a Kickstarter and then announcing a game that the actual developer, the president of the development team, didn't even know they were doing it with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
It's just insane, isn't it?
And then because of that, where's Kingdom Hearts 3?
Next E3.
It's... I don't know what the hell's going on. Sony must have paid them a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then they're like, we can't turn this down, but we've got nothing made. Oh, we'll just put a nice trailer up and then
Just let him scream.
Just wing it.
Just wing it. Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, oh
It's
yeah.
just like the guys on the stage, like, and this is a trailer for a game. It's Final Fantasy VII. Oh, okay, yes, Final Fantasy VII. Everyone, applause it.
And then now it's come to like it's going to be like 3 sort of like
Oh, it comes with 3 games, isn't it?
3
That they're
sort of
releasing
like
different
mini-games
at different
or
times or
something
whatever.
stupid, and
I just like the idea, like someone like mid speech had like they snuck into E3, a big Final Fantasy VII diehard fan, and he made a trailer at home and he had it on a memory stick, and he snuck onto stage and he just plugged it into the computer and just put it in there without anyone knowing. And now, because Sony accidentally played it on their stage, they have to make it because they don't want to look like idiots. Because that's what it pretty much was like. No one knew what was going on.
no.
Like you said, the head of the company was like, "We're making Final Fantasy VII." Yeah,
So, yeah. And then there was rumours that it was going to come out like this year. It's like, no.
yeah. That was
It's
that
like
was never
3
gonna happen.
years, maybe. Maybe
That
4.
was never gonna happen. It'll be delayed, won't it? It's just weird because it's a Sony game.
Oh god. But technically, I don't think it's a Sony game because I think they've said it will come out for the Xbox One,
Oh, really?
but it'll
Okay.
be
It was just going to be
PlayStation
associated with Sony.
first. You know, be like it'll come out and then a few months later it'll be on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But
Like, that reminds me, I want to play the new Tomb Raider game.
it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's really
Yeah.
good. And I did really like the reboot. So I'm looking forward to playing
Do you
that.
know what's the shocking thing? Do you know the Tomb Raider reboot?
Yeah.
I actually completed the game.
You completed the game.
Yeah. I didn't just play it for 20 minutes. I actually sat through and played the whole thing.
That's quite... You should have that framed next to your games on the wall.
I don't have the games on the wall anymore.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
No, we were in
No,
the middle
because you've
of
cleared it for
painting-
Tomb Raider.
painting the walls. So, next year, April time, I think it'll be April. I was trying to work it out when our 200th podcast will be. So this is episode 171. So it's 29 weeks. Give or take.
Yeah.
And so I believe that's April next year. So what I was thinking is, now this is just a rough idea. We will book a venue in London. We will book a room, and there will be like a hall next to it. I'm thinking of getting 2 or 3 sort of like video game retro sellers to put little stalls there so people can buy a couple of games. And the evening will start, say, 6 o'clock, and there'll be like a 15-20 minute like stand-up comedy talk sort of act. And then we'll have some food. And then we will have live music. So again, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. And then we will host the gaming tournament that we're thinking of doing. So I don't know how long that'll last. Then after that, we will do our live 200th podcast panel with special guests. And then after that, we will do a raffle. Well, multiple raffles with prizes. And then finally, we will end it with some auctions.
Just do a slave auction. Sell me.
I was going to say we could sell Eddie, but then the whole race thing comes into it, and
Oh yeah, that'll be...
You know?
That's too close to the line.
and the fact I've taken
Especially if we just sold Eddie.
I've taken him off the email list, and I haven't spoken to him in about 6 months.
Oh dear. He called me on my birthday on Skype.
Did he?
I wasn't on my on Skype on my birthday, so I only realised that the other day when we was doing the podcast. I logged into Skype and he was like, "Oh, I missed a call." And I was like, oh, "My bad."
He could have left a message.
Could have left a message. You could have left a little text message, but no, it was just a missed call. And I don't even know. Perhaps it was just a mistake. To be honest.
What, he was meant to sort of write something and just press the wrong button?
He wasn't even. He just he clicked on a button randomly and then just started going, calling Zack. No, don't do that.
So let's just have a look at my emails. So, no, he still gets emails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. So there's 13 people that get emails and then never get any replies. So,
Ridiculous.
Anyway, Zack, what do you think that sounds like for an evening of entertainment?
Sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. Maybe a nice little bit of social time somewhere just to chat and sort of.
And I mean, I was thinking, if it's going to be like a proper sit-down meal, then we will have to charge people for tickets for the meal.
Yeah, probably.
But then I was also thinking that for the podcast recording and the entertainment, we can just charge like £2 at the door. So people can come in, pay £2. That goes to charity, of course. They can go look at the stalls, maybe buy some things. They can come in, listen to our podcast, listen to the entertainment. And they just have to put like a minimum £2 donation. It's only if you're getting the meal, you've got to have a minimum £10 sort of like ticket.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wonder if we could actually get organised. Do you know, you can get those, it was all the rage a couple of years ago. The sort of the little plastic bands, either cancer or AIDS or.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a coloured band.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we might be able to get some bands made up saying One Up Gaming 200th podcast spectacular or something.
Way.
I'll have to look into that.
Hashtag
That's
Zack.
an idea. I tell you what, Zack, email me that. Just, it's like bands, podcast special sort of thing, something along those lines.
Right.
Otherwise I'll forget.
Yeah, okay. Will do.
Anyway, we have been nattering on for about an hour, so I think that'll do. So do you have anything you want to say before we go, or?
Not really. No, I'm good.
Was there a loud noise just then, or was it something that happened outside my place?
Oh no, that was I was making a noise with my mouth. I was going. I was gonna do it again, but that would actually just be pointless. No, ignore me. I was just making a silly noise.
Okay.
Soz.
So, this has been episode 171 of the One Up Gaming podcast.
Yeah.
Please visit. Please visit our website, which is oneupgaming.co.uk. We have another website now, which is ougtech.co.uk. We're on Patreon, which is patreon.com/OUG. If you want to help us, if you join us and do the minimum of $5 a month, then we will give you a free gift. Now, this varies from a Zelda ring, a Zelda little pendant chain, a little mouse, a Witcher medallion. It's just some random stuff that we've got but we will send them out to people who help us out at the $5 or more. And depending on the reaction that we get, then I was thinking I might do this every month. So every month you're a patron supporter of ours at $5 or more, we will send you out a free gift every month. So that's something to look forward to. We have t-shirts and mugs at bluecyborg.com. Just search One Up Gaming. Also, we are in talks, and the guy said he will do the details and send over a contract on Monday for me to sign. And this is to get, I'm thinking either the first 50 or the first 100 podcasts, plus our special episodes, and the 25-minute interview documentary that we did with the Sans Pants Radio. Jesus Christ. These drugs are kicking in. The Sans Pants Radio team, so the guys who do the Shut Up a Second, movie maintenance, It's Just Good Business, really funny guys who do those podcasts over in Australia. We interviewed them, and they were really funny, really on top of their game. I mean, there was one question where we asked sort of like, I can't remember what the question was now, but it was like, what do you wish that you've covered on your podcast? And one of them was like, are we dying? Has my cancer come back? You know?
Oh my god.
So they're really funny, really great guys. So that hopefully will be signed and up soon, and that'll be on audio tapes, not audio something on tape, audiobooks on tape. I'm really good at this. I haven't got any of this written down, I'm just doing it in memory.
Just doing it off your head, yeah.
So on the website we have Amazon links. Please use them. It helps us get a little bit of money, and you just get the same goods sent exactly as you would through Amazon. We're on Facebook, which just search One Up Gaming. We're on YouTube, again just search One Up Gaming. We are on Twitch, so you can just find us on twitch.tv/OUGofficial. You can contact us on Twitter, just message us at OUGofficial. You can email us direct at contact@oneupgaming.co.uk. And the iTunes, please subscribe to us and rate us 5 stars and give us some nice positive feedback. Just so people know, the charity that we'll be supporting for our 200th podcast and the evening meal and entertainment will be Diabetes UK. Now, I myself am diabetic, and I do know a few people within the games industry that are diabetic, but I'm not sure how many of them are actually publicly diabetic. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to name any names, but we have got a few people who we do know, and hopefully they'll help us and support us and help promote our event next year. But more of that to come. So I will say thank you, Zack, for appearing on the episode 171.
Second time in a row.
I know, it's amazing.
Crazy.
We'll have to find out what Chris is doing now he's in the UK. He's got no time for us.
I just realised how close we are.
Yeah. It's like,
he was safe.
God.
No, what have I done?
So, again, thank you, Zack, and thank you everyone for downloading and listening to us. We'll be back next week, hopefully.
I love you.
Love you too.
I was talking to the people.
Sure you were.
Yeah.
So, thank you, and see you next week.
Hey guys, Justin here. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Yes, you in particular, in that way. And I wanted to say, I think you're great. I've always said that about you. And I was wondering, if you think we're great, if you could give us a quick rating on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. It would really, really help us out in that, podcasty sort of way. And if you're feeling particularly festive, perhaps even a little saucy, maybe stop by our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG and see if you can't slip a few bucks our way. After all, every little penny or whatever space money they use in Europe helps out the show. Thanks for listening. OUG Gaming will always be free, but with your support, we can always move forward and always be better.